All right, if you're a data scientist and you're aiming to break into the insurance industry in 2026, you are in the right place. This is the crash course you've been looking for. We are going to cut right through all the noise and give you the absolute essential domain knowledge that's going to get you hired. So let's get right into it.
So, does this sound like you? You have totally nailed Python. You can probably build machine learning models in your sleep, and your SQL skills are on point. But when you look at those job descriptions in the insurance world, you feel like there's this one big piece missing, right? That domain knowledge? Well, stick around, because this is for you. My whole goal here today is to bridge that gap. We're going to connect your amazing technical skills with the industry knowledge you need to walk into that interview feeling confident and ready. We'll cover the core concepts, the big trends, and the little insights that are really going to make you stand out from the crowd.
Okay, let's dive in. First things first, why even bother with insurance? Well, because it's an absolute goldmine of data. I mean, think about it. From car sensors and IoT devices to millions and millions of customer emails and calls, insurers are sitting on these vast oceans of data, and they desperately need people with your skills to help them make sense of it all.
And look, the opportunities are so diverse. It's not just one generic data scientist job. Do you see yourself as a pricing modeler, literally shaping how much people pay? Or maybe a claims analyst, being a detective and spotting fraud? Or what about a predictive underwriting specialist, completely changing the game on how insurance policies get written? These are just a few of the really exciting roles at huge companies like Allstate and AXA.
Okay, but to get hired, you have to know the basics. So, how does an insurance company actually make money? What is their core business model? It's actually a lot simpler and honestly way more interesting than you might think.
The most critical term you need to know is this: underwriting profit. This is the #1 way insurers make money. They collect premiums from everybody, they pay out for the valid claims, and they cover their own costs. Whatever's left over, that's their profit, and that's where you come in. Your job in almost any of these roles is to make this number as big as possible, either by pricing premiums smarter or by cutting down on claims and costs.
Now, here's the real secret sauce, something called the float. See, when you pay your premium, the insurance company doesn't just stick it in a savings account. No way. They invest it. You can think of it as this giant interest-free loan from all their customers. That massive pool of money generates a huge second stream of income from investments. It's a fundamental part of how they stay so profitable.
Now, you've got to understand, the insurance world isn't just one big thing. It's broken up into different areas. That biggest slice of the pie, property and casualty, or P&C, that's your car, home, and business insurance. These are usually high volume with really fast claim cycles, which makes it a perfect playground for data science. It's totally different from life and health insurance, which are these really long-term products where you're modeling things over decades. And speaking of auto insurance, you have to know about this massive trend for 2026. This number, 40 to 50%. That's the projection for how many auto insurers will be offering what's called usage-based insurance, or UBI. This is a complete game changer. We're moving away from old-school pricing based on your zip code to pricing based on your actual real-time driving data from sensors in your car. For you, that means a huge demand for skills in handling streaming data and IoT information.
Okay, let's keep building on this. Every industry has its challenges, right? But here's the thing about insurance. Those challenges, they're your opportunities. We're talking about managing enormous financial risks and navigating a maze of regulations. These are problems that are just perfectly built for data-driven solutions.
So, at a high level, an insurer is basically worried about these 4 things. Underwriting risk. That's the big one for you. That's the risk of pricing a policy too low and ending up paying out way more in claims than you brought in. Your models directly attack that problem. The others, like managing market risk with the float or using analytics to spot fraud, are also areas where data science is becoming absolutely crucial.
And this slide is so important because it shows how the rules of the game are changing. It used to be all about just having enough cash reserves. But the new reality for 2026, with regulations like Solvency UK, is all about model explainability and fairness. Regulators are literally demanding that you can prove your models aren't just mysterious black boxes. This is exactly why tools like SHAP and Lime, which help you explain why a model made a decision, are no longer nice-to-haves. They're essential.
All right, this is where it gets really fun. We've gone over the business model. We've talked about the challenges. Now let's look at exactly how your data science skills become actual superpowers that create massive value for an insurer.
First up, let's start with a big one: fraud detection. Fraud costs the insurance industry billions and billions of dollars every single year, and it is the perfect problem for machine learning to solve. Honestly, it's one of the most common and impactful ways that data scientists get their start in this field.
And the impact here is just massive. Modern machine learning can flag a suspicious claim in almost real time, way faster than any human could. We're seeing GenAI analyze claim notes for subtle clues, and even spot photos that have been digitally altered. And beyond that, you can use network analysis to uncover these huge organized fraud rings that would be totally invisible otherwise.
Next up, let's circle back to that huge trend we mentioned, usage-based insurance. This is all about using that real-time telematics data, how fast you drive, how hard you brake, what time of day you're on the road, to create a price for your insurance that is truly personalized and fair.
And what's so cool about UBI is that it's not just about pricing. This quote says it all. By giving drivers feedback based on their data, insurers can actually help them become safer. Reducing accident rates by 15%, that is a huge win for everybody. It marks a shift from just paying for risk to actively reducing risk.
Of course, it's not enough to price risk correctly. You also have to keep your best customers from leaving. Customer churn is a massive problem in such a competitive market, and this is another area where your predictive models can have a direct, immediate impact on a company's bottom line.
I mean, the numbers really speak for themselves here. By using AI to figure out which customers are likely to leave and then personalizing offers to keep them, companies are seeing incredible results. According to McKinsey, we're talking about a 15 to 20% jump in customer satisfaction and a 5 to 8% boost in revenue. That's a direct impact you can talk about in an interview.
Okay, we've covered the what and the why. Now let's bring it all home and talk about the how. This final section is all about action, the exact tools you need to know, and the strategy that will help you absolutely nail your interviews.
Here it is. This is your 2026 tech stack. Python and SQL, that's your bread and butter. Absolutely non-negotiable. For handling those massive data sets, you need to be comfortable with platforms like Databricks or Snowflake. Your go-to modeling tools are going to be gradient boosting libraries like XGBoost. And, like we've said, those explainability tools, SHAP and Lime, are mandatory. You have to be able to explain the why behind your predictions. So, how do you show off these skills? With a killer portfolio project. And please, don't just do another Titanic dataset analysis. Try one of these. Build a fraud detection model using some simulated telematics data. Or predict how severe a claim will be financially. Or, my personal favorite, build a UBI pricing model with XGBoost. These projects scream to hiring managers that you can solve their specific problems.
And finally, here it is, your secret weapon for the interview. When they inevitably ask, "So, do you have any questions for us?" you're going to hit them with this. This one question instantly shows that you understand the business, that you're on top of the latest regulations, and that you think strategically. It makes you sound less like a fresh graduate and more like a future colleague.
So there you have it, the core business model, the biggest trends, the high-impact applications, and the exact strategy to get hired. You now have the insurance domain knowledge that most of your competition just doesn't have. So the only real question left is, which one of these amazing data science roles are you going to land first?